guys, thank you so much for tuning into episode 2 of the Black Sheep Cast. We want to thank you guys so much for the responses, the comments, the subscriptions. From episode 1, we did way better than we thought we would.
Yeah, I literally thought we were going to get like 12 views.
Yeah, I thought we would cap out at maybe 15.
Yeah.
So we did so much better than that. Thank you guys so much. Today's topic is going to be our Dreamcast. But first, I want to let you guys know that we are down to 2 people today because our good friend Bree is out
in Australia.
Down under. Yeah,
Down
she's in
under.
Australia. So she'll be there for the rest of the month and a little bit of next month. So we might be doing maybe this cast and probably the next one, just the 2 of us. But we hope she makes a safe return and is back to us and not torn apart by dingoes. So
Or giant spiders.
or giant spiders. So yeah, it's just gonna be me, Annalise, and we have Amber here. So we want to start every episode, like we said previously, with a set of news stories, and we were thinking of calling it
Creepy Currents.
Yes, Creeping Currents. If you guys can think of any other better names for this segment, leave them down in the comments. Let us know if that's really stupid. We are not sure.
So my creepy current is about Walmart.
Already creepy.
Already creepy.
Walmart at 2 a.m. Creepy.
We also have a Walmart conspiracy, but we'll get
Oh,
to
geez.
that.
Yeah,
in
are we going to
another
mention
video.
that? I don't,
Should we?
that's really hard hitting for these people. I don't know if they can hear it.
Yeah, after we talk about the story. So Walmart patents audio surveillance technology to record customers and employees. So basically what this is about is Walmart is looking into a technology that is constantly recording not only customers but their employees.
Okay, I have to stop you there. I don't actually know how surveillance works now. Is it not constantly recording?
So I guess it is constantly recording. The only thing is most like companies don't have like super high tech security the way that Walmart is patenting their security.
Okay.
So like they'll have like just cameras or no audio, or they'll both have like cameras, audio, but it's like super crappy.
And it's based on incident, right? So if there's a theft or whatever, they'll go back and review the footage.
Yes, and so sometimes even like footage gets deleted after a while because they need more room.
But this is something that's constantly monitored. Am I right?
It's constantly monitoring, and it's like super high tech. Like listening to this podcast would be like listening into like the surveillance that they're trying to patent.
Really high tech audio, high tech video, listening into everything that everyone is saying.
And it's not like a specific spot at Walmart. It's like while you're casually like shopping for your butt ointment, for like your cosmetics.
They're
your groceries. Like it's
hemorrhoid cream. They're there.
Yeah, like it's just constantly recording, and it's like super high tech, and it's picking up that
words.
words.
What is the purpose of this?
They want to do like kind of like a quality assurance for the employees.
Oh, sure, quality assurance.
So making sure like, oh, like next time you speak to this customer, maybe say this way differently or something.
Oh, that's
like
so
that.
weird. I don't think that quality assurance is the only thing that they're gonna try to use these for.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're trying to like limit like theft and stuff. Maybe like, but who like says that out loud? Like, I'm gonna steal this mascara.
Yeah, no, it is very sketchy that they're trying to implement audio surveillance. To me, that's too far.
Yeah, and also I have a insider.
What's your
I have
inside
a
info?
source.
Oh, geez.
And they're letting me know that they have like they have a source as well.
The source has a source, you guys.
Who let them know that Walmart actually, I think they were working with a CIA contractor or something, that while you're like walking in and you're texting on your phone, they can actually like zoom in like HD and
Onto your
see
screen.
what you're texting. Like that's how high tech.
And that's
their
going on
surveillance
right
are.
now?
I think it's already been implemented, that the high security like cameras. But now they're like implementing like this high security like audio surveillance. And it's caused a lot of problems because in out of 12 of the 50 states, does that make sense?
And 12 out of the 50, yeah.
There's a law saying that they can't record you without your consent. So
Yeah,
it has
you
to be
need
a two-party
release
consent.
forms. Yeah. Jeez. Walmart, we're on to you.
Walmart is big brother.
And Walmart is onto us.
Yeah, Walmart is. So go to Target.
Go to Target. This is our plug for Target.
Sponsored by
basically.
Target. Our first sponsor is Target. Thank you so much. No, I'm just playing. We are not sponsored by Target.
We're not sponsored by anyone. All right, guys. So next on here, I have the news article about a high-powered brain scanner that may find the human soul. So this is something that China is working on, and as we have seen, China, there's some crazy technology research coming out of China.
China's killing it.
They really are. They're much more ahead than I had ever thought they would be. So basically, these Chinese scientists are developing a $126 million state-of-the-art brain scanner, and they're going to try to use this to locate the human soul in the brain. So in the physical brain, they're going to use this machine or this technology to try to locate and pinpoint the exact location of, I guess, a human consciousness.
I think the definition of soul to me is like very like
It's vague. Well,
yes.
I think across religions, across academia, no one can really pinpoint or describe really what a soul is, what a soul comes from.
because like for me, like if we're doing it in like a religious sense, a soul is like something that's not in your brain.
Not physical, right?
It's not physical, yeah. And then also on a scientific level, like I don't think a soul exists because it's everything is like your brain functions.
Exactly. Well, these Chinese scientists are trying to build a powerful MRI device. It's basically going to be just this huge magnet, and they're pouring more money into this than was funded.
Their telescope?
They're pouring more money into this than was used on what is called FAST, and that's the world's largest telescope. So this new technology is being like pumped full of funding,
Which is kind of weird.
weird, right?
Because I think they would put more of an
It seems like a
emphasis on, like,
pseudoscience. Yeah.
on like space exploration and stuff like that.
Yeah, one physicist was hoping that they may, and I quote, for the first time capture a full picture of human consciousness or even the essence of life itself.
That's so weird.
Very weird. So scientists who are skeptical about this new research question what even is consciousness. There's not even a scientific definition. So if you can't even define it, how do you know what to see, or what you see is what you're looking for?
Yeah, because I don't know, like for me, like this is very weird. Because like for me, it's either you believe that humans have souls or you don't. You believe that everything's like a motor function of your brain.
Yeah.
What you think, what you see, how you feel is like chemicals and the different parts of your brain. I took AP psychology. Like I don't remember any of it, but like to me, it's like two different things.
Okay.
So like, why would you look into the brain scientifically for a soul?
To find something that is, to a lot of people, I think to most people, not of the physical body.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is weird. Other things they're using this machine for, though, are like Alzheimer's, other ailments like that. So it isn't only for the purpose of finding the human soul, but that is one major aspect of this project. And I just thought that was so weird, and I wanted to share that with you guys. I want to know what you guys think about this. I want to know if you think that the human soul can even be found.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Even
I don't know.
even in a religious context, you can't find the soul
Because
physically.
it is literally separate from the body, right?
Yeah.
Because your body dies, and then your soul either becomes reincarnated or goes back to its heavenly place or whatever, what have you. So,
Yeah. So what do you guys think? All right, now on to our main topic is dreams, something that we all do.
and we spend a third of our lives sleeping, you guys. So this is something that everyone since the dawn of humanity has experienced, and it's so elusive. Nobody knows exactly what dreams are, why they happen. It's very divided in the scientific community as to why dreams happen, if they're necessary to our well-being, if it's just some sort of playback that our brain does that really has no significance. So this to me is one of the world's
Biggest mysteries.
yeah.
And everyone dreams, even if you like don't remember it, you're still dreaming.
So my question is, do we dream every night?
Yes, it's part of REM sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And REM sleep is
It's the deepest part of like you sleeping. It's like when your eyes start to move all crazy.
got it.
Yeah.
What it's called something, right? When your eyes
I'm not too sure. Move
Sorry.
very fast. All right, so let's get to like I guess like the official definition of what a dream is.
Okay.
Okay, a dream is a succession of images, ideas, emotions, and sensations that usually occur involuntarily in the mind during certain stages of sleep.
And we'll talk about that word involuntary later.
Yeah. So I guess, do you want to let us know about any dreams that you've had lately?
Okay, yeah. So we wanted to sort of start off with some weird experiences with dreams that we've had in the past, or some dreams that have really affected us. I know I don't remember most of my dreams. I'm going to say I remember maybe 30% of my dreams, which is not a lot considering we dream every single night. And the ones I remember conveniently are the scariest ones I've ever had.
The most memorable? Yeah.
The most memorable, yeah, of course they're the most terrifying. I actually am very mortally terrified of deep dark water because of this one dream that I remember I had. I was maybe 11 or 12, and I remember I was dreaming about my whole family was being tortured by some, I don't even remember if it was a person, or we were just trapped in this giant park almost, and we were just being tortured, and the entire dream succession was just of myself and my family being tortured by this person. I can't even remember who it was or why we were being tortured, but I was forced to swim across this giant, like 10-mile long pool almost, and it was deep and it was dark, and there were bioluminescent lights and things, and like tentacles grabbing up from the trenches and things. And ever since that dream, when I was 11 years old, I have been deathly afraid of deep dark water. I refuse to go swimming at night if there's not like a pool light. So these dreams have a huge effect on my life and the way that I live it.
I think you told me that dream. I think we were in middle school, maybe like
Yeah.
early high school.
Yeah, so, and it really affected me. I still can vividly remember scenes from that dream.
Well, my scariest dream was actually a dream about this house that we're in recording.
Oh, jeez.
So I was about, I think, 8 years old. We just moved into this house, and I was sleeping over at my grandparents' house. And I think my grandma was actually watching a scary movie while I was asleep. And it was super vivid. It was like the most vivid dream that I've ever had in my life. And in my dream, like, the world was ending.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, my mom was like, yo, like, go to your room, get your shoes on, because we're about to, like, leave. We're about to ditch this house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where we are going. And, like, the atmosphere in my dream was, like, super dark and, like, kind of black and whitish.
Mm-hmm.
And I was tying my shoes, and there was this little boy. He kind of had, like, a bull Asian haircut going on.
Okay.
But he was, like, super pale, and one of his eyes was, like, red, and the other eye was, like, black. And he was like, beware, like,
Oh,
yeah.
jeez.
And like I started hearing whistling at like a farmer whistle, and I looked back and my window was open, and there was a farmer, and he was like on his rocking chair.
Mm-hmm.
And this farmer guy's like kind of important because he kind of reoccurs in my dreams a lot. And he was just like slamming his chair on the window, and he was like creepy.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, like this huge shadow, like giant shadow of like kind of like a grim reaper shape, like just like came from the closet and was like sweeping across my room. And so like
weird.
me being 8 years old, I was terrified, and I get up, and like my family's in the living room, my cousin's naked, I don't know why. The world's ending and this bitch is naked. And my mom is like, okay, it's time, like let's all go out. And like we like kind of ran towards the street, and there was like an upside down like school bus.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this giant, like, humongous, like, wolf, and he was black, and he had red eyes, and for some reason, like in the sky, there was, like, chimes, like,
Okay. That's a lot of symbolism. That is so
yeah, it was, like, the most, I guess, like, detailed dream that I've ever had in my life.
weird.
And, like, there was, like, a loud banging sounds, and it was,
Yeah.
like, the world is ending, and I was, like, so creeped out, and I woke up, like, sweating, and just, like, oh my god, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And I know you guys have had these dreams where you are so terrified and it feels so real that you wake up with dread, full of dread.
Yeah.
Sweating, crying. I've had dreams so sad that I wake up and I'm sobbing, full on sobbing.
Yeah, I mean, this dream like really kind of tainted the house for me. So like as soon as we moved into it, I was like, I don't want to live here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and dreams have a huge effect on, I think, on your conscious and subconscious mind.
Yeah.
I think what you see when you're dreaming has a lot to do with the way you live your life and the decisions you make.
You know what kind of creeps me out, but like it shouldn't creep me out? How people have like the same dreams.
Reoccurring dreams.
No, not like recurring dreams, but like people have like the same dreams.
Oh, like so you and I would have the same dream.
Yeah, like I think one of like the most common one is like falling down and then you kind of wake up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's more of like a physiological response. I don't know, but
and also like because I remember I was super young when I had this dream of my teeth falling out.
yeah, that's a common one.
And like I told my aunt about this and she's like, oh, that's normal, everyone has that dream, it just means like
I've never had that dream.
this is
And, yeah,
happening
and
or
that's such a
something like that.
weird
Yeah.
that's such a weirdly specific dream for so many people to share.
Yeah, and it's not like someone told me like, oh, there's a dream where your teeth fall
Yeah.
out. Like this was before like the internet was
Mhm.
like super poppin'.
Have you seen that thing about the man that
Oh.
everyone sees in their dreams?
Yes, he looks kind of like the Matilda's dad.
I can't remember Matilda right now.
But yeah, like, oh, that's so I've never seen that man, and I hope I never see that man.
I also haven't seen that guy, but if you guys know what I'm talking about, let us know if you have seen this guy. It's basically just a man. He has like a really thick eyebrow, like a brow, like a monobrow.
He looks like a small Guido type.
I can't describe him. Maybe we'll inlay a picture here. But so many people have reported seeing this guy in their dreams, and I don't know if he is actively involved in their dreams.
I think he's just like there.
He's just there. And so a lot of people have theorized that maybe this guy has some kind of huge importance in who we are, or some kind of weird spiritual importance to us. So I think that is so creepy.
and it's not like he looks like an average guy that you see every day.
Yeah.
He's like
He's
has this
he's a
distinctive
little
look.
he's very distinct, and you would think that if all these people were seeing the same person, that they would sort of be a meld of really common physical attributes, you know what I mean? Like a really normal nose, a really common
hair.
sort of really common
yeah.
hair, really cookie cutter, but this guy is really creepily
Creepy.
distinct, and so many people have just seen him standing in their dreams. So I just wonder what is up with that.
Yeah, it's really
Or it could be,
creepy.
it could also be maybe one person sort of planted the seed in the internet,
And-
sort of, and it caught on, and then that stays in your subconscious, and then people started seeing that guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought that was a weird little thing about dreams. So talking about recurring dreams, I actually have it's not really a recurring dream. It's not like a situation, but it's a place. I don't know if you've experienced this, that you dream about maybe the same place over and over again, and it's different like scenarios or situations. Have you
I've
experienced that?
never had like a recurring dream about a certain place, but I have
Mhm.
have had a reoccurring dream of like situations.
And people, right? That you said that
Yeah, the same people.
that farmer character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I have actually this recurring dream of my grandma's house, and my grandma's house is actually really, really nice and pretty, but every time I dream about her house, it feels like her house, but it's not, and it's very distorted. There are extra rooms. There's like a big basement that for some reason is always flooded with water. And I know it to be my aunt's room, but that is definitely not what my aunt's room looks like. But I know that it's her room. And isn't that weird how when you're dreaming, you know something to be true, even though it looks nothing or reminds you nothing of the real thing?
Yeah.
So we're always in this distorted sort of funhouse, scary version of my grandma's house. And every time I have a dream involving her house in that weird state, it's always something terrifying. It's always something really scary, and I just don't know what significance. I guess her house is pretty significant to me.
Yeah, I mean, you spend a lot of time there.
Yeah, so I think just things that are significant in your life get transferred over in your dream state,
And it
but they
gets
can get
distorted
distorted
and
or
really creepy.
yeah.
So I've also had reoccurring dreams of like the same situation. I think I've had it like 3 times, where it's like my entire family gets invited to a dinner party, and we always go. I literally don't know who the guest is, whose house it is, but we just all end up at the same house.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, we're all having a good time, we're chatting, and then all of a sudden the lights go off, and there's a scream, and it's always constant. Like, the lights go off, and there's a scream, and we all like get separated somehow.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get out of this house. Like, my uncles try to like shatter the glass, but for some reason every time we hit the glass it goes away.
Oh my gosh, I just want to mention this real quick. Do you have this thing where you either run or you punch or you do some kind of physical movement in your dream, and it's like so powerless or like slow? Does that happen to you?
Yeah, every time. Yeah.
I cannot punch in my dreams, and I've read somewhere that's common, that people can't punch hard in their dreams. I don't know
Yeah.
if the running is common, but I cannot for the life of me, if I'm running away from something or I'm just running in general, I cannot. It feels like I'm running through molasses.
Yeah, and then also in the dream, like every time we try to go out through like the front door or any side doors, like we try to open the door, but like there's this weird force that allows us to open the door a little bit, but then it like closes back.
Oh, freaky.
And I've had this dream like 3 times already, and I don't know what it's trying to tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one of my reoccurring dreams.
That is so weird. One thing that I think is really interesting, I don't know how much I believe in it, is dream analysis. So, like you said, like your teeth falling out or you
Yeah.
falling, like those things having certain significance in your real life, like meaning that you're missing something or you're unhappy or this and that. I don't know how much I believe in that.
Me too, because like also like there's like things on like the internet, like, oh, what your dreams mean.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
you being pregnant in your dream means that you're flourishing a
It-
new
yeah, and
idea.
it's something completely unrelated
It's
sometimes.
like I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know how much to believe that. So I actually tend to believe more Sigmund Freud's school of thought. He believed that dreams are a window into our subconscious, and they reveal a person's unconscious desires, their thoughts, and their true motivations.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
So that kind of it's kind of scary to think about, though.
Like let's say that you're having a dream where you're on a ship with
Mhm.
your boyfriend and it crashes and it dies. It doesn't necessarily mean
It
that
dies.
you're gonna
Who dies?
everyone, the ship included. But it doesn't mean like you're gonna go on a cruise and you're gonna
No, yeah, of course.
sink. It's probably just like your subconscious trying to tell you like, oh, this relationship is
Yeah.
like, going down.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, that I can get on board with. And he thought that dreams were a way for people to satisfy their urges and desires, listen to this, that were unacceptable to society.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
You think so?
Yeah.
That is so dark to me.
Because I feel like subconsciously it's like you're picking up so many things
Mhm.
and you yourself like don't want to entertain those things.
So your subconscious mind is the one that's like, move out the way, bitch.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what you really feel.
Yeah, because like when you're sleeping, you're not really conscious and you're not kind of like policing yourself in a way.
Okay, you're conducting yourself the way that society
Yeah.
deems acceptable. Okay. That is so scary to me.
Yeah, I think well your dreams are not like telling you what you actually think, but it's just like distorted in a way
Mm-hmm.
of what could possibly be in your subconscious.
Yeah. So some people think that, or actually the main theory as to why we have dreams in the first place is so that it helps our brain process thoughts and events that we experience throughout the day. So I guess it's an easier, more bite-sized version of what we experienced in an entire day compressed into something that our brain can naturally and more comfortably process, which is weird
so it's
to
like
me,
a
though.
computer
Something
sense.
like
Yeah,
that.
that's
That would make
cool.
sense too. But to me, sometimes I have dreams that are so like out of the ordinary and otherworldly. It literally feels like I am not in this universe. It feels like what I'm dreaming is not something that could physically happen in this realm. So to me, that wouldn't make it easier for me to process things. It makes it to me harder. It makes me more anxious and more I don't know.
Oh, so kind of like, oh, it's a dream, so this could happen because it's not real life.
It's more like how could it be something that my brain's doing to make the events of the day easier to process when my dreams are so crazy and out of place, and so do you know what I mean, that it's not helpful to me when I look back.
No, I get you, because they're so weird that like it doesn't make sense that it's like your life.
Yeah, and a lot of dreams that I have cause me anxiety.
Really?
Yeah. I actually had a dream the other day, and some of these dreams I can't remember, but I wake up feeling this really weird sense of dread and terror, and I can't go back to bed. So it makes me wonder, what did I dream? So one theory that I actually have about why we forget our dreams, it makes me think of when children have really traumatic experiences in their early childhood, and that memory of that certain experience is completely wiped out of their brain. So I was sort of thinking or playing around with the idea that maybe a dream that we have is either so traumatic or so life-altering or so completely different from this reality, and we can't completely process it, so our brain just completely wipes out the memory of the dream.
So like basically, like if I suffered something traumatic when I was a kid, and I dream about it now, but I don't remember it because I don't want to remember it. Is that what you're trying to say? Okay. Well,
I'm just like comparing the likeness of the two things.
oh, okay.
Do you know? So similar to the way that a child forgets a traumatic memory, maybe people who are adults or people who, you know what I mean? Like when we forget our dreams, it's because it was something traumatic.
Oh, okay.
And it completely is our brain's way of handling something traumatic or something that we don't understand or can't understand,
So
maybe yet.
Our consciousness is policing our subconsciousness.
Yes.
Okay, I get you.
Could that be maybe something?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I just thought that was kind of interesting.
That's an interesting theory. I like it. All right, let's talk about astral projection.
Yes, I have been wanting to get into this, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we watched Insidious, so.
Yeah, that was actually the first time that I heard of astral projection at all.
I've always known what astral projection is, or some sort of concept of it, because of my aunts, because they're kind of crazy. So I've known
You've
about that
been.
power. Yeah. I don't know. Would you say astral projection is like an actual like scientific
I actually don't know that. I don't know if it's a definite scientific occurrence.
I have a story.
Oh God, what's your story?
Okay, so I don't know if this was me astral projecting. Projectioning on the screen. Yeah, but I remember I was in my dream and I woke up, a dream within a dream.
Oh geez.
And it was my room, but everything was kind of like, what is it called when mirrored? So everything was on the opposite.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Yeah, and the
I've experienced that.
And the hues were darker. And when I opened up my curtains, it was just like a dark sky and a bunch of stars, kind of like I was in space.
Okay.
And I turned and I looked at my bed and I saw my body.
Okay, so that's basically what astral projection is. It's the leaving of your physical body.
Yeah, and I think it's like you wandering your soul, I guess.
Okay, yeah, and I did read somewhere that astral projection is when you travel between planes of reality. So you're actually when you project or when you astral project, you're existing on a different plane or field of reality.
I can get on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And rather than some like your soul is leaving your body and
I've
some
never
demon is
experienced
trying
that. I think I would be very freaked out if I had a dream where well, is it a dream? Is my question.
I don't know, because when in my dream, I guess I'm gonna call it a dream, I looked in my body and I was like, oh well, what the heck, like that this has never happened before. And I was like conscious, like it wasn't in my dream where
So
it was some
is it a
warped-
type of lucid dream
I think so,
where you're very aware?
Yeah. And I remember like just walking around my room and just like, what is this? You know what I mean? And it's something that I've never experienced before, and I haven't experienced
Have you since
then.
Okay.
No. And I remember like oh, this is kind of cool, and then I just like started like getting freaked out for some reason. I was like, no, I want to wake up.
And I think this is one of those things like lucid dreaming that you can train yourself to do, right?
Yeah, and it took me a while to like actually get up. And I remember like me like, okay,
To wake up? I mean, you?
yeah, like
physically
me,
you to
physically
wake up?
because
Okay.
I was like in my dream of me astral projecting, I guess.
Your astral form. Your astral me.
Astral me is more intelligent than me. I remember like trying to like okay, I need to wake up because I'm freaked out. I don't know why.
And so if you're trying to wake yourself up, do you wake you up? I mean, like, does astral you wake real you up?
Astral me jumped into physical me.
Oh, that is so
If
weird.
that makes any sense.
That is so weird. I have personally never had experience with astral projection, but I do know that it is something that you can teach yourself, and you can, I think, through meditation and through focusing and other sort of skills like that you can learn. You can teach yourself how to astral project the same way that you can teach yourself to lucid dream. I don't know if it's the same type of meditation or the same type of preparation for both, but I do know that it's something that you can learn. And I was actually trying to do some research on this. I didn't learn that much. Obviously, I don't really know what it is or what the heck. But I saw a lot of YouTube videos with titled Astral Projection Music, how to astral project.
Oh, I've seen those
How to help
videos.
yourself astral project. And so I guess it's through the use of sound and music sort of puts you in this kind of trance, or prepares your body to astral project.
I don't know if I actually believe in astral projection. I think it may be
It
just some
happened to you,
sort
though.
of lucid dreaming, though.
Okay.
For me, like, I don't know, like, because I can't explain what
Yeah.
that was.
Uh-huh.
And I had it at, I think I was like about 13 years old.
Mm-hmm. And it hasn't happened since.
No,
right?
never happened since. Maybe I freaked myself out, but I was like, oh, I'm never gonna have that.
And you
again.
you consciously decided not to try to do that, maybe?
Yeah,
again?
because I think also because around that time was, I think, when Insidious came out.
Oh, weird. Maybe that's why.
And I was like, oh, hell
Maybe
no.
that's why. And I thought Insidious did a really, really good job of displaying that visually of the idea of astral projection.
I don't know. I don't want like some Darth Maul type coming into my body.
He did look like Darth Maul,
Yeah.
right?
So
So I actually heard of one story of a group of Tibetan monks that had, through meditation, trained themselves to astral project to the point of being able to leave their bodies and see things happening away from themselves. So the story goes that one of the monks was able to warn the others of an invading army, and they were able to escape before that army actually got to them. So, and he explains it as he had seen the army approaching. His astral being, his astral form had seen. So I guess it could be some sort of premonition, but is it possible that your astral body could see things that your physical body cannot? And you can actually be in two places at one time?
I don't know if I believe that. Do you?
I don't know. The way that monks meditate is so hardcore. I don't know
It's
how
super
else to.
hardcore.
Yeah, monks meditate for days and months and years, and they're honing this ability that we don't even know if we have, but they must, because why else would they meditate and
I've
try to
read-
learn these abilities?
I've read that monks have like learned to like meditate to the point where they release DMT,
oh,
the
wow,
chemical that's in
okay.
your brain, and like to them that may be like, oh, they reached nirvana.
Yeah, we have to do a whole entire episode on DMT
Yeah.
and the experience of dying, and it's birth and dying, right?
I think so.
Birth and death. You have an influx of DMT, but yeah, I thought that was so interesting that story. I don't know how true it is historically, but it was interesting to me, the idea that you can be essentially in two places at once and have more knowledge than one of your physical selves can. So one of the last bases that we wanted to cover is sleep paralysis.
I'm no stranger to sleep paralysis.
I personally have not experienced it.
I have experienced it like 3 times.
Okay, tell us about it.
The first time I was actually sleeping on my side, which is weird because I usually experience sleep paralysis when I'm sleeping face forward. I'm like facing up. And one of the first times was actually I was sleeping on the side and I could hear my mom and my younger brother and sister in the kitchen, and that was happening in real time.
Okay.
And I was like trying to get up, but I couldn't move, and I was like, what the heck, like I need to get up. And this is where the farmer comes into play,
Oh, weird.
because I I guess I was already looking towards the side, and I could see the crack of my window through the curtain. So I was seeing outside, but the farmer was there.
Was it really dreamlike? Because sometimes I can tell when a dream is a dream.
It seemed terrifying. Like I just couldn't move, and I felt this weird.
Did you feel like
pressure.
it was actually happening?
Yeah,
like
I
very
felt like
vivid.
kind of like I knew I was still sleeping, and I was just trying to get out of it. And it like for my dreams, I don't know that I'm sleeping. You know what I mean? But like with sleep paralysis, like I know I'm sleeping, and I'm like, oh, I need to get up because this is creepy.
Okay.
And I just couldn't. And I felt like this like super like weird pressure on my chest.
And that's generally something that people experience, right? Is a pressure on them.
Yeah.
Like something is sitting on them.
And yeah, he was just rocking on his rocking chair, whistling.
Looking at you?
Yeah, and he turned and faced me and made eye contact with me, and he was scary.
That is so
That was the
freaky.
first time that I ever experienced sleep paralysis.
And the other 2 times where did you see shadow people? Because I know that's also a common occurrence.
I think the second one I did experience a shadow people. It was weird because I was sleeping face up, and I couldn't turn my head, and I heard like whispers, like, and I was like, who's in
Do
my
these
room?
normally happen to you in the morning, like when you're waking up?
Yeah, and I think it's because I try to wake up too fast, but my body's still asleep.
And that's what causes it, right? Is when your mind is already active and conscious and waking up, and your body still is trying to catch up.
Yeah. And I remember like just hearing whispering, and then I see just shadows like kind of like on my peripheral vision.
Freaky.
And I was like, oh my god, like I can't get up, and I still felt the chest thing.
That is so weird.
And then the third time I had it was when my mom, well, my fake mom, walked into my room, and she's like, everything's gonna be okay. And then she morphed into some demon thing. And like
as moms do.
As moms do usually. And the demon thing was like staring at me in like some weird vortex. Like it felt like it was sucking my soul out of my body.
Oh god, that is so weird.
And I was terrified, and I tried to get up, and like the next day I was like, yo mom, we need to hit up church, because that was scary.
I need a dose of that holy water, please.
Yeah, and that was the last time I've had sleep paralysis.
I'm so scared of experiencing sleep paralysis because I hear so many horror stories of people who, and oddly enough, I know a lot of people who have experienced it and who experience it regularly.
It's such an ugly feeling. Like I can't describe you how terrifying it is.
That is so weird.
Yeah, but at least I have content for this podcast.
Yeah. Do it for the content. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning into this more casual, chatty episode. Next episode, I think, is going to be a little more researched. We're thinking of doing a murder case.
Oh, I'm down. Joe Benet or no?
John Bonet?
John Benet?
Yes.
Joe Benet is another case. Unheard of. Yeah, I'm down if you want to.
Yeah. So we were thinking of doing sometimes more researched, like deeply informed cases, and then switching to more casual, then going back, just so we have a little bit of break from all the research and stuff. But thank you guys so much for watching. This is the end of episode 2.
I hope you guys liked it.
As always, guys, abandon the sheep and join the herd. Leave your thoughts in the comments below.
Make sure to like and subscribe. We also have an Instagram and Twitter where we will be posting updates for future podcasts. Thanks again, guys, for listening, and see you in episode 3.